Hey, what's going on, everybody? If y'all don't know who I am, I'm Cass. I'm one of the co-owners of Echelon Studios here. I want to appreciate y'all for attending Free Game Wednesdays. Basically what this is, I wanted to start this Free Game Wednesdays to give people from our background an opportunity to gain some information that they either otherwise wouldn't get or maybe are not privy to, may not know where to access that information. So every Wednesday, starting last week, I have a different professional coming up here, just giving a small sample size of what they do for a living, give some information that might jog you guys' interest, give you something that you can take home, and then, you guys patronize our business as well. That'd be great. So I brought my guys, Jay Lee, Juan, we all went to school together, to come and show us, some ways to make money from our beds. I took their course. I'm still working on it. You know what I mean? So that's why I had them come here. So I appreciate them coming and doing this. They definitely didn't have to. They definitely, charged for this service. So I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody attending on the Zoom call. I know that was something that we threw in at the last second, but I knew it was going to be pretty good. So appreciate everybody for coming by. Zenith.
Ventures. That's put some respect on our last name. But first, like I said, thank you, Cass, for letting us come give y'all this information and provide this area for us. So appreciate you. But we're Zenith, like you mentioned. I'm Twan. I've been into trading probably about 3 years and trading stocks into from Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, all that. I've been into that for about 3 years. And I currently got into options earlier this year. I had extreme success with little money, so we're gonna give y'all a little information on how we did that. Pass it over to Jay Lee.
But I'm Jay Lee. I've been trading since about 2016, give or take. I was just buying shares here and there. I want to say my biggest success story me buying shares was a marijuana stock. I made $120. But then somebody hit me that was like, hey, bro, like the way this stock moved, you probably could have made $10,000 had you trade options. I was like, wait, what is that? So I've been trading options for about 2 years, give or take, after that. And me and him, we kind of got on around the same time, but he was more so bigger in the Forex game, and I was in the options. So originally our plan was to take the both and put them together, but he realized options is 10 times better than Forex. So he just got out the option wave completely. And really what made me also want to take this serious was I seen that Nipsey Hussle, he used to trade a lot of stocks, and I think he made like $200,000 just trading stocks alone. And I'm like, bro, you could really make this type of money. And my first option trade, it was Apple. That's why I will forever love Apple. I think I made $120, and I was just like, damn, this is easy. So I got into Apple off the simple fact that I know Apple is a good company. I think they're gonna keep going up. My next couple trades, they didn't go as good. I probably lost like $300 in my next trade. After I actually knew what I was doing, I'm gonna mute somebody.
Like,
so basically, we better off finding.
Hey, I can't mute you.
You gotta mute them all. You can mute them all.
Nah, I can't mute them. Yeah, but pretty much after I took that big L, like that's when I realized, hey, if it's this easy to lose money, it's also this easy to make money. So let me just actually put forth the effort and see what I can do from there.
And like you mentioned, I came from Forex, so I believe in Forex. So I know it's a lot of people doing IML and like to dive in Forex. That's a good way to make money, just like we do over here. But unfortunately, like JB said, I thought options were better, so I switched. But Forex is also a good thing to trade. You just trade foreign exchange currency. But one of my biggest success stories trading options is I played Tesla, and I turned $1,700 into $20,000 in 1 day. So once I did that, I was like, damn, I made 20 bands in 1 day. Let me take it serious. So on the same time, me and JB, we didn't have Zenith up yet, but I noticed he was, good at research, and I was good at technical analysis. So he's like, bro, we can take this next level. We can actually teach this because we had extreme success at it. So let's build a company. So that's when we came up with Zenith and then started teaching how to trade options just like us. That's how it took off. And from here, the group has grown. We got over 100 members in the community. two of them are sitting, or three of them are sitting right here. So they can tell you personally the success that they had being with us and the knowledge that we taught to them. So you want to be with them and ask them for proof, in cash. So go ahead and chop it up with them just to add more value to our company, but just get into to get into more information about that. Just reach out to them if you don't believe or whatever. Yeah.
We got Zena from Nipsey Hussle too. If you know, you know. But first thing we want to go over is kind of the misconceptions of stock. So every time I tell people I trade stocks, these are the first things that come out of their mouth. One, you need a lot of money to make money. And I'll tell you right now that is false. You just need to put up your money to make money. Even today, I traded Google, for example. I put up $190 in Google, and I came back with $700. You know what I'm saying? So, and this was just between 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. You know, so you don't need a lot of money. You just need to put up your money, and just really don't be scared to put up your money. I like trading options because as far as every other investment, this right here is the least riskier one, because let's say I want to go buy a house. I could buy a house, I have to put down a $15,000 down payment, and then I have to do this, that, and the third. That's not even, you know, that's not even including the closing costs. But with options, you can start off with $500, and I flipped 400 and 4,000 before. So that's definitely possible. It takes forever to make money. Like I just said, I turned 190 to 700 in less than 2 hours today. It doesn't take forever to make money. It doesn't take forever for you to get your money either. So let's say with this money that I did make in Google, I made $700. I'll be able to withdraw it tomorrow, and then it'll be in my bank account by Friday. So it really just takes 2 to 3 business days for you to even withdraw your money. And me and him, we always gonna tell y'all, always treat yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why we trade in the first place, for us to enjoy it. So why not? You have to be good at math. You don't have to be good at math. Y'all can ask anybody that's in our group, anybody we trade with. All you have to do is be able to recognize patterns. If you know how to recognize a pattern, I promise you, you could be able to trade options.
And be patient.
Hey, yeah, you got to be patient. This game can be very stressful a lot of times. Just gonna throw that out there. So we always gonna tell y'all, keep y'all emotions at the market.
Right.
Like if y'all call us and be like, man, I lost 200 in Google, what to do, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna just tell you, hey, let's make it back. Right. Ask Keenan. What's up? You got a question?
Yes, sir. How do you keep your emotions? What do you think of to keep your emotions out? When your stock is dropping,
I mean,
you gotta double down.
It's easier said than done. I know.
Previous question.
Oh, so his question was how can you basically keep your emotions out of the market whenever you see your stock is going down? Twan, for example, he like trusting his technical analysis. Like as long as the chart still look good, Twan could be down $700 and he'll still be in that trade. But by that next day, he'll be up $200. And he'll be like, hey man, it's all in the analysis.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like to keep my emotions out, because 2 things I learned about myself when I started trading. I thought I was very patient, and I thought I was not emotional. But clearly I am. So I make jokes about myself. I'll be like, man, I'm like Drake in this market. You know what I'm saying? I'm emotional. Like I can't control them because, you know, when you playing with hundreds of, you know what I'm saying, thousands of dollars, and you seeing you down, you're like, damn, like imagine just taking the $1,000, ripping it up. That's how easy it is to lose it in the market. So for me, I just look at the technical analysis. I look at what got me there, what got me into the trade. So that's what's gonna get me out. When I feel like when I got those certain indications for me to get out, I'm gonna get out. I don't never look at the money until I'm about to, until I'm about to cash out. Like you don't go to Chase every time you get paid to see how much is in there. You just know it's in there. So only time I go to the bank is when I'm making the draw or deposit. Same with Robinhood. The only time I go to Robinhood is when I'm about to take out. You know what I'm saying? Or put back in. But that's how I kind of keep my emotions tamed when I'm trading.
And me, I just try to keep my losses small. Like I could lose $2 and I'd be like, nope, I don't like it no more. And I get up. I get down 50 and I'd be like, nah. But I try to maximize all my gains. I want to say today, my biggest loss was like $70. And I was in a stock called AMD. But my biggest win was $700 in Google. I'm saying my next biggest win was 200 in Facebook. You know, so I just keep my losses short. Like we set stop, or I set a stop loss. Whenever I'm down 15%, hey, I'll see you later. I'll probably plot another re-entry for that stop, or I'll just go on to the next one. You know? And then my favorite, your portfolio must have took a hit through Corona. I made the most money trading during the pandemic. And that's because when we trade options, we could make money off the stock market going up or down. So whenever Corona first hit, the market, it just took a complete shift. Me knowing that, I'm gonna just play the market on the downside, and I'm gonna just collect all the money that I can. I'm saying I made my most in one day during that time. It was $3,000. Well, at the time, now my most is like 4,000, but you know.
And I like to call the pandemic the pandemic, just because a lot of people like us, we started Zenith in the pandemic, and it's been making us bands. You know, we utilize this time, I guess, a crisis, you know, to take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? We know a lot of people lost their jobs and stuff like that. So we decided to make an affordable company that people can get in and make additional income to potentially quitting their job. Like JB, he's a full-time trader. He does this for a living. He does not clock in nowhere. He wakes up at 8:30. That's when he clock in. That's when the market's up. You know, and if he make a $5,000 day, shit, he don't got to trade for the next 2 weeks because his bills is paid. You know what I'm saying? He's not living lavish. So if you living in a $1,200 or $1,300 apartment, and you make 5 bands in one day, your rent is paid down here for the next 2 months, 3 months. You know what I'm saying? If you play your cards right. So that's what we wanted to do. So
yeah, and also if y'all didn't notice, a lot of millionaires became billionaires during the pandemic, and all of that is solely due to stocks. You know, so that's just to show that you can make a lot of money doing this.
And I guarantee you, your favorite celebrity, favorite actress, whatever, has investments in the stock market, own shares, own companies. You know, they are invested in the market. So why not? You know what I'm saying? If your favorite idol is in it, why aren't you in it? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I kind of look at it. And plus, money runs our economy. Money runs our, our country. If Bill Gates walking here, everybody gonna look up. The niggas worth, you know what I'm saying, $1 billion. So I feel like money runs our country. So why would I get into it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna beat the shit out of your brain.
And like I was mentioning, I came from Forex, so I can tell you personally how the difference between them. Well, Forex, like I said, if someone ever came up to you and said, I trade Forex is not a company, Forex is not an academy, it's just you simply trading foreign exchange currencies like the US dollar versus the Japanese yen, the British pound, things of that nature. You know, I kind of think of trading as a sport. It's a category, but there's within that sport, you know what I'm saying, it's different categories. You can play basketball, football, tennis. Just like trading is a sport, you can trade Forex, stocks, indices, futures, index, ETFs, and etc. So that's one of the differences. And one of the things that I like personally about options that Forex does is, one, you can actually buy shares to build a portfolio. So what I mean by that, you know, if you follow us on Instagram, you will see that we announced that Tesla and Apple is going to split. And you can actually buy shares for long term. So if you have kids, plan on having a family, you buy those shares now, and they double, you know what I'm saying, by the years. And so whenever your kid gets 18, you have a whole portfolio to pass down. We're then creating generational wealth. Versus Forex, you can't buy currency pairs. You can't buy the US dollar. You can't buy British pound. You can't buy gold and silver. So, but that's one of the things that I like about options. And also with options, it's like JD said, it's less riskier because you can only lose what you put up. So if we bought a contract for $200, the most we can lose is everything go bad is $200. Versus with Forex, if you have $1,000 in your account, if you manually do not put a stop loss in your account, it will drain your account to pretty much call it blown accounts. Like if you got 1,000, it would suck 800 out of it before it let you know, like, hey, you can't trade. You got to upload more money. You got to deposit more money. So that's one of the things that I didn't like about Forex, and you know, the riskiness. You know what I'm saying? Like if I want to lose 200, I'm just gonna put up 200. That's how much I can lose. That's in my budget. Versus Forex, you literally have to have a certain amount to trade different lot sizes, stuff like that. So you wouldn't even be able to trade certain things on the Forex platform if you don't have a certain amount of money in your account. And it's going to take not really for every guarantee you, if you ask any beginner forex trader, have they made $1,000 in a week, I will pay you myself. If they're beginners, they can't tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Because I did it for a fact. It took me damn near 2-3 weeks to make 1,000, and I was trading large lot sizes. So I know for a fact that you can't do that. But we have people. I have a guy right now that just entered the group. I can show you the text message. He's already up 1,200, and he joined in on Monday. It was Wednesday.
Trading Google.
Trading Google with this man right here. So that's to just tell you the risk factor and how easy it is to make money.
Just because you put up that $200 don't mean you're going to lose that whole $200. Like I said earlier, if you're down $2, you can be like, all right, cool, I don't like this, and get out. So stocks. Essentially, whenever you're buying stocks, you are owning a piece of a business. So with that being said, you could talk to, well, you can't actually talk to them, but you can actually vote on a lot of things that company does. So if I own 10 shares of Microsoft, for example, Microsoft, they'll send me an email because whenever you sign up for whatever brokerage you do, you'll have to put your email address, social security, all your personal information, because they'll send you a 1099 form that you'll be able to fill out on your taxes. But Microsoft, they might send me an email and they'll let me know, hey, so we plan on implementing this new strategy right here in the company. You be like, nah, I don't like that. And if enough people agree with you, then they're not going to do it regardless. Like Coca-Cola, for example. Warren Buffett, he owned 52% of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, they was like, okay, we want to pay our members on the board, we want to give them each $10 million a piece, I believe. It might have been more. But Warren Buffett, he was like, hold on, what they doing to make this $10 million? They told him, he was like, nah, I don't like that answer. We're not going through with that. Because he owned 52% of the company, they didn't go through with that. So whenever you're buying stocks, you also putting your money into an already established business. So you don't have to go out and, get it out the mud, grind for your own business and start from the bottom up. You could actually put your money into Apple. We all know Apple is a good business. Apple share is only $130 right now, give or take. You can put up $130 in Apple, hold it for a year, and that $130 might turn into $200, or it might turn into $500. Right. Apple was at $700 at one point before they did their first stock split. When they did their first stock split, they ended up going to $125, just like they recently did. Then Apple went right back to $500. Did another stock split. Now they right back at $125.
So if you would have bought the first stock split, let's say you just bought 10 shares, they did split, now you got 20. They did another split, now you got 40. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that works. And also, one more thing about buying stocks, they have these things called dividend stocks. If you own them, they pay you just for owning them. Like if I own the shoe company, if you bought my days, I'm literally paying you every month or quarterly just because you got my days. So that's one of the cool things. Also building that that generational wealth I was talking about, passing something down. So if you own AT&T, which they pay the most dividends, I know we was talking about that earlier. You getting paid by AT&T just by holding their shares. And JB actually made a good point. He gonna eventually own so much AT&T shares that
they're gonna be paying my damn phone bill.
They're gonna be paying
like, honestly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the dopest parts about just owning stocks, not even just day trading or trading like us. Just owning stocks. You know what I'm saying? They paying you, so just hold it, and they going up with time.
Yeah, and then also the beauty about stocks is whenever you're buying shares, you don't actually lose money until you sell your position. So let's say I was to buy into Nike, for example. Nike's sitting at around $100. If Nike go down $10, now my new equity in Nike is $90. Technically, I don't lose that $10 until I be like, okay, cool, I'm really not rocking with Nike no more. They did some racist or whatever the case may be. But a year from then, Nike, it could go from $90 to $180. You put your emotions into the market. You was like, nah, I don't too much rock with Nike no more. But a year later, they ended up going up another, $90. It happens. And so kind of how stocks work. I kind of want to talk about that. So let's say me and Twan, we have Zenith Ventures. If we wanted to be like, okay, cool, let's go ahead and put Zenith Ventures onto the stock market. Like we want the public to actually invest into our company. So what we would have to do, we would have to go to an investment bank like Goldman Sachs, TD Ameritrade, whoever we decide to go to. And they would give us a valuation of our company. They'll be like, okay, cool, we think your company is worth 120 million, let's say that. So then they'll ask us from there, okay, how many shares do you want to put into the stock market? We could be like, we feel like putting 100,000 shares. So from there, they would determine our stock price. So I said all of that to say the owners, the CEOs, the presidents, none of them, they don't determine what the value is of your actual company or the stock price. That is all investment banks, and then that's also investors. Whoever decides to tap in. Like if nobody wants to buy my share, if nobody wants to buy my shares, then my company will go from 120 million to probably 98 million. But that money that we do have into that company, whenever you're buying shares, like if I was to put $125 into Apple, they're gonna use my $125 and expand their business with it. Apple, they might just go to China and be like, hey, y'all, make some more iPhones for us with my $125.
That's why they pay you to hold it. And option trading, this is exactly what we do. So option trading is not like buying shares. Literally, all you're doing is basically betting on the stock going up or down. And if it's going up, we call it calls. And if it's going down, we're calling puts. And how we get this information by using fundamental analysis and technical analysis. Fundamental is basically using news. So, an example, we know iPhone 12 is about to drop soon. So we'll find when they're about to drop, get us a contract and bet that Apple's gonna go to this price by this specific date. And that's just using fundamentals. And then technical analysis is where you'll see us marking up the chart and you see the candlesticks and you see all the lines and stuff like that. That's technical analysis. And that's what I'm good at. And Jay Lee is good at, fundamentals. So he like research. He like doing research. I don't really care about it. I like, technical analysis. I'm assuming everything that's fundamentally is already pretty much in the chart. All I need to do is read it, predict something, and then place my bet. And that's literally all we're doing is placing bets on, I bet this is going to go up, I bet this is going to go down. And we have expiration date, so we're by contract. So we're basically saying, I bet Apple is going to go up $10 in 2 weeks. And as long as it's going up, they don't even have to reach the price that we predicted. As long as it go up, we can make money. As long as it's going in the direction that we place the bet on. And that's the best part about it, because we don't even have to hit the target that we think. It just has to go in that direction for us to make money. So that can be $100, $200, $5,000, $20,000, whatever the case may be. As long as it's going that direction, you can make money. That's how easy it is.
And another thing that separates options trading from Forex is the fact that we do get to do fundamental analysis. Like I get to go read up on Tesla and I get to see, okay, Tesla has battery day, September 22nd. They have a battery that's projected to go 1,000,000 miles. Yeah, that's wild. I don't think that's really gonna happen, but if it does, Tesla is gonna skyrocket through the roof. And I'm already in a couple shares. I'm in a couple options contracts post battery days, and I'm really, I have the hopes that Tesla is really gonna come through. I mean, Elon Musk is sending people into space. Like, I really think he could build a battery that goes about 1,000,000 miles.
Yes, and he's working on Hyperloop to be able to get you from Cali to Europe in a couple hours, like building a little mini rocket. So if he's doing that, it's like he can build something to go 100 miles. If he's building rockets and spaceships,
Yeah, so we get that fundamental analysis as well. I give y'all another example. Walmart last week, they ended up being in talks with Microsoft as far as buying TikTok. So as soon as that news came, Walmart ended up jumping up like $8, maybe $9. And a lot of people in our group was able to benefit off of that, off of the strength of news alone. Like we didn't even have to use our technical analysis. Actually, our technical analysis got us into the trade in the first place. Right. But then 20 minutes after we ended up getting into the trade, they dropped the news. Right. Like we just really got lucky with that. But Walmart shot up like $7, $8, and I made $500 off Walmart in not even 40 minutes. So what is investing? Investing is basically buying an asset now that will work for you later. Asset is basically something you own. Common assets are real estate, stocks, land, and equipment. We always tell people don't confuse assets with liabilities. Liabilities is something you
Car payment,
Oh.
cell phone bill, stuff that you own. You know what I'm saying? That's a liability. We try to cut those. So we want to own everything. Like I was telling a guy just yesterday, well not even yesterday, like last week, he was trying to get me into like this IML Academy. And he was telling me, I'm making good money trading Forex, blah, blah, blah. And I asked him, I was like, he was like, why don't you come over and help educate us? I was like, you're exactly right. I should do that, but I started my own company. I was like, you would never be the owner of IML. I said, I'm the owner of this Zenith company. It's an asset. So eventually, if I have kids, I can teach them and then give them shares and hand them down the company, 50% of the company. I was like, you can't do that with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's an asset. I own it. You own them shoes that you got on. You can sell them. They're yours. So that's what you want, more assets and cut liabilities. Whenever I buy something, whenever I go to anywhere, or they ask me to finance, I ask them straight up, how much is it? What's the total? I don't like financing. I don't like borrowing. I just like to pay everything up front. I like to own everything. So that's what I've pretty much been working on the last 2 years of my life, paying off everything and buying things straight up. I don't like financing. I want to know the total cost without interest because I'm not paying interest because I believe in two things. It's either you're going to pay interest or you're going to get paid interest. Off stocks, they're paying me interest. I own shares, they're paying me dividends. So that's another thing that's key. You know what I'm saying? Like getting into this. And why should you invest? One of my favorites. This pretty much sets the rich from the wealthy. NBA players are rich. Investors are wealthy. You can see an NBA player go broke. You see it all the time. You see celebrities. You see musicians, entertainers. You don't see Warren Buffett. You don't see big investors really go broke because they own, pretty much own assets that grow over time. That's why Warren Buffett didn't get rich until he was older because all his investments cashed out. He bought everything cheap. And 20 years later, they tripled and quadrupled. So then he was able, to cash all those out into millions of dollars. So that's one of the reasons why. And then you just want to create wealth, like I said from the beginning. Being able to pass something down to your kids. The dude who franchised McDonald's, Rob Parker, I believe, his kids are still eating today. You know what I'm saying? Awesome stuff he did 10, 15 years ago. So that's why we're here to teach pretty much generational wealth, something you can actually pass down to your kids. So decisions that we're making now, our grandkids is going to be, I always make a little joke to my friends. I'll be like, they're like, Twan, why don't you just spend all your money or do this or buy this or that? I'm be like, one day it's going to be a kid of mine or a grandkid of mine. Like, how we living like this? How we get this riches? They're going to look at a picture of me, their grandfather, like, hey, he put in the work for us. You know what I'm saying? He laid the foundation for the rest of our family. And that's what I live by. I'm chasing wealth. I'm not chasing riches. I know the riches is going to come because in order for me to be rich, in order for me to be wealthy, I have to be rich first.
So saving versus investing. So a lot of people don't know this, but banks, they have this little fractional reserve banking clause. And basically what that means is the bank, they can take the money that you have in your savings account, they can go out, they can loan it to other people, or they can invest it for themselves. And they can make millions and millions of dollars off of your money that's in your savings. And they will only kick you back 1%. Yeah. So,
and then crazy part is they'll charge you a fee if you take too much out of those savings at a point in time. Like they charge you to take their own money out that you save and then investing at on the same coin. So, just think about that. Whenever y'all go to these banks and just clicking I agree and sign these forms, that's what they're doing. They're able to borrow your money that you give them consent and then they're investing it. And then if you try to take too much out of time, they're like, oh, you're trying to take too much of your money out.
Yeah. Which is wild. And the reason being is because your money is there, but it's not really there. Like if you have $1,000, they're gonna take 900 of that and they're gonna lend it to somebody else. And now they mad at you because you want to keep taking your money out. Like, well, it's my money and I want it now. But whenever you invest in your money, it will work for you. Whenever you saving, you working for it. So I don't even have a savings account no more. I just have an investment account. I got an account where I just buy nothing but shares and I just let them sit and hold. I got another account where I do my options trading, and then I got a third account where I do all of my long-term option investments. So one that I will give y'all, Apple. We all know Apple is cheap right now. I bought a car for Apple, and it expires in 2022. I paid about $500 for it, and right now I'm already up $200. And I got this Monday.
So imagine what it will be in January 2021.
And I still got it till 2022. So, if y'all do want to just tap into like any option contract and y'all got like, I think now it's 600, I spent $460 for it. It's probably around 660, but if y'all got like 660 that y'all just want to throw into the market, I highly recommend taking it out your savings account and putting it into there. But again, don't listen to me. I'm not a financial advisor. Anything I do say, I'm not liable for it. So just had to throw out that just.
And one thing about, I was just telling JD about, because I don't have no savings either. Because when you save for something. If you got 10, if you say, okay, cool, I saved 10 bands, it's like, all right, now I'm about to buy this car, this house. But since I pretty much own the things that I drive and pretty much about to live in, I don't need a savings, you know what I'm saying? Because I'd rather make my money work for me, putting them in bonds, CDs, stocks, working overtime, gaining interest, again, getting paid interest for putting my money somewhere. So anytime I want to save, I just pretty much give me a little account, save it up, then spend the savings. Because I'm not saving, like, what's the point of saving 20 years when you can, on the same hand, invest that same money and 20 years later it's going to be double versus you just saving for 20 years and not doing nothing with it. It's like, okay, I saved 20 bands. Like, okay, what you going to do with it now? It's been working for you for the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm thinking about. Like, where can I put my money? That's another thing. Because I noticed that a lot of people, especially minorities, black people, we don't know where to put our money. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're the race that is the most flashy. We got the most diamonds. We got the most designer. We got the most fancy cars. You always want to flash, but I guarantee if you get paid bi-weekly, what I start doing, I start writing stuff down that I can put my money in every 2 weeks up into that paycheck. So that way, I know when I do get paid, I know where my money's going. And it's not to a retail store. It's either to somebody who owns a company that I can invest in, or if I do want to buy clothes, I'm going to AP, black-owned company. You know what I'm saying? If I do want to spend some money. But for the most part, I'm finding where I can put my money. If I have a homie that builds something, I'm like, hey, can I invest something? You know what I'm saying? You need some startup money. So that way I know in the back of my mind, all right, I'm about to get him 1,000. That 1,000 should be good in about flipped in about a month or two. I'm not worried about it because it's accounting. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm thinking. Every time I get paid, where to put my money, that's going to make me more money. I'm not thinking like, okay, I need to get these changes. I need to get this fit. I need to go to this party. I'm thinking, I need to put my money somewhere. I need to invest it. You know what I'm saying? I need to think about some stocks. I need to put it in some ETFs. That's why every time I do go to the bank, I'm asking, hey, what's y'all rates? You know what I'm saying? On y'all bank bonds. How much are they? Okay, it's 10% or whatever. All right, let me put 1,000 down real quick while I'm at the bank. And if their rate's too low, I'm like, all right, no, that's a bad investment. You know what I'm saying? Let me go find some real estate. Or I know a homie that does real estate. Hey, you need some construction, I can help you. I can afford you $2,000. You know what I'm saying? Promise me 50% ROI, return on investment. That's the conversation I'm having when I get paid. And I pay my. And like what he said, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, treat yourself from my percent. But like you said at the beginning, treat yourself. So every time I get paid or every time I hit the stock market, I pay myself like a job. I pay myself every 2 weeks. And with that, I like, okay, let me think. Like this weekend, this Monday, I got paid for myself Friday. I said, hey, I need to get them Tesla and Apple shares. So let me drop, I got 10 shares of Apple and 2 of Tesla. That's $2,000. Now that check is gone. Now I'm thinking about how can I pay myself what I'm going to get next week when I get in the market. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm thinking whenever I get money in my hands. I'm trying to think where can I put it, not where can I spend it.
Me as well. Like I said, everybody I invest shares in, they're going to play some type of role for me later on in my life. Like I said, I own right now 20 AT&T shares. They pay a 50-cent dividend every quarter. So that means I'm getting $10 just off of dividends alone from AT&T. I'm trying to have it to where I'm getting $120 alone off of dividends from AT&T so they can pay my phone bill between them and Apple. You know, same with Nike. I got shares in Nike. You know, Nike is gonna continue to buy me shoes. Exxon, I got shares in Exxon. Exxon gonna keep paying my gas. You know, but also we don't like fault anybody for not knowing, you know, how to invest their money or about the stock market, period. I was listening to this podcast and somebody that was saying that if you in the jungle, the lion is not going to teach the gazelle how to get away from it. The predator is not going to teach the prey, okay, cool. The next lion you see, this is how you get away from me. It's not going to do that. So it's just the same. Like the people higher up with the most money, they're not going to tell people who doesn't have it, you know, okay, this is where you need to put your money into. It's up for you to go learn. It's up for that gazelle to learn that, okay, next time that lion come, I need to hit him with one of these and then get out.
And why y'all think the stock market open 8 to 5? Where's the majority of people at 8 to 5? At a job, so they really look at the stock market. Unless you have a corporate job. That's why the market's set up like that. Because the higher ups know that majority of people don't have a corporate job where they can sit and look at the computer all day. Most of the people are working from 8 to 5. So by the time they get up, shit, the market closed. You know what money can be made to tomorrow? Well, you gotta go tomorrow to your 9 to 5. So that's how you know the higher ups know what they're doing. So that's why, you know, you got people like us to teach you, okay, if you are working at somewhere that's not a corporate job, hey, we on the phone with it. You know what I'm saying? We making deals from the phone. Actually, I'll be in my house trading. I have a laptop. I'm on my phone walking around the house trading. I'm not even looking at my laptop. Like I'm always, if you call me, I'm always working, doing something, trading from my phone. Ask AP, ask JB. Like if you call me, I'm doing something.
This man got 4 jobs on, I don't know how he do it.
But yeah, I'm pretty much always working. So
Say what? Hey, y'all can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
but yeah, the cool thing about this is like I'm making money from my phone. So no matter where I'm at, I just compared it. I was on the phone talking to one of the students. He like basketball. I said, this skill is like basketball sport. If I go to any basketball court, I guarantee I can get it. Guaranteed, because I possess the skill. No matter what goal I shoot on, I still got butter. I'm still wet. You know what I'm saying? I'm still money from the 3. I can let this nigga, and no matter where you at in the world, as long as you got Wi-Fi and the stock market open, you're gonna be able to make money. Like JP said, he can be in Houston. I can be in Alaska. If we got Wi-Fi, we good. In the stock market running, we good. We can make money. So that's one of the cool things about this. As long as you possess the skill and the knowledge, you can't leave. You can always trade. You can always trade no matter where you at. As long as you got good internet, and we have 540 companies running in America. That's all you need.
So this is kind of what I was saying earlier about, you know, if you put your money into the bank, they kick you back this 1% return annually. So this right here is the S&P 500 compared to the bank. So if I was to put $1,000 into the stock market, the S&P 500, a little background on it, it has the top 500 companies within it. So Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Nike, who else? Snapchat, Facebook, Adobe, top 500 companies. I'll be doing it. So if I was to put $1,000 into the S&P 500, I was to do a $100 monthly contribution, they would have gave me 7% annually, and I would have made a total of $18,000. Compared to had I put it into my Chase account with a $100 monthly contribution, they'll give me a 1% return annually, and I make $13,000. I mean, most of that $13,000 is the money that I put up. You know, but the difference between these two is $5,000. You know, $5,000, that's kind of big. You know, if you only putting up $1,000 and $100, you know, every month. Imagine if you put up $5,000 and then $200 every month. You know, that would definitely surpass this by almost $20,000, so to speak. But I'm not telling y'all to get rid of y'all savings accounts by any means. Like, if y'all want to keep them, be my guest. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't have one. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't listen to me for legal advice. But so one thing that I did realize as far as me trading stocks was, especially since I do this full time, I have to treat myself as a business. You know, I have to go and check all my expenses and make sure that, you know, I have X amount that I can invest into the stock market, and I'm spending money on all of these things. Okay, I need to make this in the stock market in order for me to, you know, go buy some new shoes or just have some play money. You know, what I always tell people, do your money in like the thirds. So you have a third for like the bills and stuff like that. Have another third for investing. I ain't say saving, investing. Right? And then you have your last third, that's your play money. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, we all want to play, you know, and I'm not going to just try to bind anybody to something that I'm not binding to. So, you know, I spend a lot of my money just like out and about, and I can do that because I make it. But, you know, a portion of your fee, like I said, should go to your investment account. So just purge your expenses. You know what I'm saying? So you making $3,000 from your job, but you getting an extra $700 from your side hustle and another extra $700 from the third side hustle. But you got your car note, rent, insurance, groceries, and all of that. So if your income exceeds your expenses, then you'll know, okay, cool. I got $1,000 left over. Let me put 500 of this into investing, and then that other 500 is gonna be my play money. You know what I'm saying? We always gonna tell y'all, go play, go treat yourself, especially when you're investing in stocks. But my main thing is like when we're talking about the difference between the difference between investing and saving earlier, and what defines like the rich and the wealthy. Like, okay, yeah, you can be making $1 million a year, but if you also have $1 million worth of expenses, you know better than the regular person living paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell you invest. If y'all need like anything to invest in, just let me know. I mean, I be giving out free game here and there. And he does as well.
And then just to piggyback off what he said right here, just for me personally, I look at my expenses every month. I want to see what I'm doing. Like, I didn't realize I eat a lot until I looked at I'm spending way too much money on fast food. I'm doing too much drinking, or I'm doing too much of that. So when you start looking at them statements, you like, okay, you can literally start eliminating stuff like, you know, why am I cash out this person so much? You know what I'm saying? Why am I doing this? So I'm looking at my expenses like, okay, I need to trim this down. You know what I'm saying? I need to cut this down to get some more room for this investment. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I like to do. Just track your expenses. If you want to track them every week, just to, you know, look how much you're spending weekly, do that. You know what I'm saying? I like to do mine in month spans. So that's one of the key things. Money management. Just track your spending. Know what you're spending. Make sure it's correct. You know what I'm saying? Like, you spend your money wisely.
I take my balances by the day. Like, it ain't a transaction that don't happen that I don't know about. So that's why I didn't too much care for Acorns. A lot of people ask me about Acorns. Reason why I don't like Acorns is because, like I said, I track my expenses by the day. I track my bank account by the day. With Acorns, how they work, if I was going to spend $1.07 on my card, they'll take 93 of that, basically round it up to $2, and then they will put it into like a little investing account, savings account, so to speak, and they'll kind of invest it for you. Me, well, first off, they don't take that money out until, I want to say, towards the end of the week. And if it's towards the end of the week, I see a random $5.76 come out my account. I'm like, bro, what is this? You know. But Acorns, they also hit you with a lot of fees that a lot of people don't know about.
Right, that's what I got rid of mine.
Yeah, so you could be saving, like you could put let's say 10,000 in Acorns, but you won't see that whole 10,000. You'll probably only see 4, maybe 5 of it. They taking damn near 50 to 60% of your money, which a lot of people don't know because they taking your money and then they invest, so to speak. But they not investing in good companies that I would rather invest in.
And that goes back to saying, educate yourself, possession of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That's how a lot of people in life miss out on a lot of things and don't take advantage of opportunities. They're just not aware of it. You know, imagine, I always say, like, yeah, imagine somebody who came to my school and sat here and did the same thing, and I had refund checks. I would have been the man, you know what I'm saying, 2 or 3 years ago. I was just unaware. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why I just say, educate yourself, make yourself aware of the knowledge, because ain't nobody gonna tell you. Like, even if you pay for these seminars or these wealthy people, I always tell my friends, like, you paying $2 billion to go see a seminar, you really think they're gonna tell you how to make that money? I said, it's the reason why you can't record there. You can't record these seminars because they don't want you to take the information back. Shit, you better be good at writing, you know what I'm saying, note and pad. So that's why they don't want you to do that. They're not gonna give you the secret sauce. They want you to educate yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's why a good little quote, you know what I'm saying, you want to have something, put it in the book. Because a lot of people ain't gonna read the book. I was just telling somebody else, trying to put them on the investment book. Like, man, it's why I just can't get to this reading stuff. I'm like, how do you identify the world? You read. If you didn't know how to read, you wouldn't even know how to articulate certain things. You know what I'm saying? Express your opinion, or nobody wouldn't even take you serious. Because if you walk up to Bill Gates, you gotta know how to talk. If you talking to Jay-Z, you gotta know how to talk. You gotta know how to talk their language. You ain't talking their language, they're like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Even with me, I ain't gonna take no risk with you if I know that you're not educated on the subject. I'm not, you know, because a lot of people be like, hey man, hit me up, like, we can work together. First, I wanna know if you tried it. Because I'm not gonna work with somebody who haven't tried it because they don't even know what to do. You know what I'm saying? They can't tell me no pointers. I tried it and failed. If you tried it and failed, you can at least come to me and say, hey, Quan, let's invest, but I know what not to do. I know what not to get to. I'm like, all right, come on, let's talk. You know what I'm saying? I do too. I think that shit too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna at least give it a try and an attempt if I want to do it. So that way, I now can hold a conversation with somebody who really does it. Because they're gonna know that they went through that. They're gonna be like, oh, what you know about that? You know what I'm saying? You did that, I did that too. Because 9 times out of 10, everybody started at the beginning stages. So I can tell a beginner trader when I see one and then when I talk to them. And I can tell the experienced one when I talk to them because I can hold that conversation with them. You know what I'm saying? That's how JD was just talking to me about like the service exchange. You know what I'm saying? Since I possess the knowledge, if I know AP fix cars, I'm gonna be like, hey, you can fix my motor or whatever. I can teach you how to trade. I can teach you, I can pay you in knowledge. That's a service exchange. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to do. I don't like favors no more. I'll be like, hey, what can you do? Or you can fix watches. Okay, bet. Well, I know how to trade. I know how to invest in stocks. Fix my watch. Shit, I can teach you. You know what I'm saying? That's another reason why I like to possess the knowledge and be aware. Because now I can sell it to people. Now it costs us to do this. That's how you know you're really good at something. When they pay you to do it. You know what I'm saying? They pay me to do this. Shit, I'm gonna do it regardless. I'm gonna trade regardless, whether y'all sign up or not, because I'm gonna make money. Like I always tell people, that's why I don't go around posting and telling people, hey, sign up with me, sign up with my company. Because I know what the value of my company is. You don't see Louis V with commercials do. They know their value. If you're interested in Louis V, I'm going to the store. You're going to get the website. They don't got to tell you, hey, pull up. They don't got to put their stuff on sale. They know the value, and so do I. So I'm not going to be out pitching. I'm just going to post what I make. Like I always tell people, how much I got to make for you to come join? Oh, you want me to make 1,000? All right, I see you in a week. You want me to make you want my group to make 100? We'll see you in 2 or 3 months. You know what I'm saying? That's how we look at it. I can show you his profits from today. I was just telling him he made $1,200 just today. So it's like how much you need for us to make before you come on. You know what I'm saying? Before you
gotta put my password in.
That's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? So just know the value. You know what I'm saying? Just know the value of whatever you own and know the value of your product. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to sell good product. Like Drake said it. If you have good music, we gonna hear it regardless. If it's a good product, it's gonna get out there. You know what I'm saying? Just by something this simple. Like our company has grown. You can ask AP. And really, he was in the group, and Terry, they was in the group when it was like 4 people. There's damn near 100 in there now. So that can just tell you consistency and knowing the value. People's gonna flop regardless.
I like something you said too. I'm just piggyback off of it a little bit. So the current book I'm reading right now is The Richest Man of Babylon. So when this richest man, when he first started off, his first investment, I believe he ended up giving his money to a carpenter. And that carpenter, he went overseas and he ended up buying some jewels. When that carpenter, he came back, it came to find out those jewels was pretty much worthless. So you're not gonna ask nobody for advice who's not knowledgeable in that subject. You know, his next investments led to him becoming the richest man of Babylon. But like I said, I'm not finna ask, you know, somebody to fix watches how to fix my car. Just like when you said that. People always ask us where to start. So here's a couple of good apps that you could just put your money into. We have pros and cons. Me personally, I hate Robinhood. I would never tell y'all to download the Robinhood app. I don't even like people talking about
y'all
it.
use my code.
Nah, so like the reason why I don't like Robinhood, me personally, is because at one point, Robinhood, they ended up crashing. And this was around the time. They crashed today?
Oh, yeah, they did. You couldn't sell nothing on Robinhood.
I promise you that's nothing new. Yeah. Well, Apple been messed up. I mean, Robinhood been messed up all week. But when the pandemic first hit, I know a lot of people that was actually in trade positions. I know people who had Tesla calls or Apple calls and so forth, so forth. One of my homies ended up losing $13,000, and it was nothing that he could do about it because Robinhood don't have a customer service. Me personally, I like TD Ameritrade because their customer service is amazing. You know, if I put my money anywhere, I want to have that assurance that there's somebody there that I could talk to and they can walk me through any problem that I have. I mean, it's been a time where TD Ameritrade, it did glitch, yes. But I called them, I was like, hey, so this glitch happened, and I tried to sell Google when I was up 400, but now it's saying I'm down 100. They're like, I'm sorry, Mr. Lee, we'll put your money right back on your account. I said, huh? They said, yeah, we put your money right. I said, all right, cool. I just hung up. Like, I ain't got to tell me nothing else. Don't ask questions regarding the periods. But, hey, so like I said, I don't like Robinhood for that reason, and one of those reasons alone, because like they out $13,000. It's nothing that they could do about it to get it back except put more into the market and try to make it back. Like Robinhood not finna, they only have a customer service email, and you might not get a response from that email. You know, TD Ameritrade, they have live support, live chat, call, all of that. Then we also have Webull. I don't know too much about that, but we got a couple people in here. They said they like it, but they also ain't got a good customer service. So I probably wouldn't put my money over towards that way either. But you know, I mean, if you are starting off, I would say like maybe get Robinhood just to like buy a couple shares here and there. But I just wouldn't go all out with it. I'll just use a Robinhood just to see how the market works. Well, I'm getting some no's. Never mind. Don't use Robinhood.
But I use Robinhood. And one of the reasons being is just because it's user friendly. Like if you get on the app, it literally shows you, okay, you want to buy shares, click buy. And the shares pop up, you can put how many you want. Said and done. If you want to trade options, you go to the same thing. It says trade options. Screen will pop up. It literally says, I think we'll go up. I think we'll go down. The expiration dates are up top. Clickable right there. Then if you just want to get more information on what a call and put is, that information below. And like one of the things I like about it is they pretty much let you borrow the money, but you pretty much need to make deposits and instantly deposit it into your account so you can make the execution right then and there. But like JD said, it does have its problems with it. That's why I also do have TD Ameritrade. I just recently got it after damn near 6 months. But I'm gonna see what that does. And if y'all join the community, y'all know what it does too. I'm gonna let y'all know. But yeah, I use these two platforms. But like JD said, if you are a beginner, we just highly recommend you go to Robinhood because it's the most user-friendly app they have out there, and it's commission free. So just keep that in mind.
You got a question?
TD Ameritrade, you have to pay for traders.
Yeah. So whenever you're buying options contracts, it's 65% per contract. 65% per contract. Yeah. I mean, which really ain't that bad. I mean, especially when you make $400, what's 65 cents?
Yeah.
But whenever you're buying shares and stuff like that, you don't necessarily have to, they don't do commissions with shares, only off those contracts. They just got to the point where they stopped doing, I think at first it was $1.25 per contract, and then they charge you like 1% commission. So like if you was to make $400, they take $4. but they just got away from doing commissions, period, because they ended up teaming up with, who was it, Charles Schwab. And Charles Schwab, he don't do commissions, so TD, they said, okay, cool, we'll just take that from you. And now a lot more people ended up going to TD Ameritrade. So Texas. Yeah, Uncle Sam, they are, like, you could be making money in anything in America, and they gonna just come, look in your pockets and be like, hey, come here, my brother, and try to take some of that. But the stock market, they don't take that much money, and that's one of the reasons why I do like it. I know Bernie Sanders, he was like, hey, y'all are getting away with a little bit too much, and I agree. So he tried to tax us like, I want to say 33 1/3, which is kind of what corporations tax you for even, you know, the 9 to 5. But short-term investments, that's actually you holding for less than a year. It's actually 1 year and 1 day. They call that short. But if you made less than $9,000, they only tax you 10%. If you made 9,000 to 38, they only tax you 12%. 39 to 89, only 22. Keep in mind, if you make this 9,000 to 38,000 in a regular 9 to 5, they tax you at 33 1/3. Stock market, you only get taxed 12%. That's what we do. 90K to 190K, you still not getting taxed more than a 9 to 5. You only get taxed 10 to 80. But also, let's just say you was to tap into the stock market and you just weren't doing that good. You get the write-off up to $3,000. So a lot of that money you will probably be able to get back on your tax return.
And I just found out one of my buddies, Kevin, just told me if you make 100,000 in over a course of a year, you can create your own trading company and just write off. You can basically be your own company, write off everything you do. Like if you live in your home, that's your headquarters. You can write that off on taxes. If you drive for every meeting you go to that has to do with trading, you can write that off. If your laptop broke, you get a Mac, you can write that off. But that's only if you pretty much make over $100,000 in a year.
What is when you want to get something wrote off? What does that process look like?
So the question was, if you want to get something written off, what does that process look like? Really, I would just, so take a step back. Like I said earlier, whenever you sign up for the brokerage account, you got to put your social security, bank account, and just about all that information because they'll send you a 1099 form. So whenever you get that 1099 form, you can either go to TurboTax and put all that information in there, and then they'll be like, okay, cool, your adjusted money that you'll be getting back is X amount, or you can go to accountant, which I always prefer, especially when you start making a little bit of money into the stock market, and they'll be like, okay, cool, you get to write off all of this, and you'll be able to get a lot of that back.
And then also using Robinhood, so you won't have to do that manual way. They actually track all your trades throughout that entire year. So whenever that it's time to file taxes, they'll send you that form, and then you can just hand that directly to whoever's doing your taxes. From that form, they'll be like, okay, you lost this, or you won that, and you can pay this, or we owe you this. So like you said right here, if you lost, you know what I'm saying, that 3K, you can pretty much write that off, and that will show that on the form that Robinhood sends you at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year when it's time to file taxes. So whoever does your taxes, from TurboTax, or like you said, accountant, like I like to go to like accountant too, because you're making a good, chunk of money, and then we have other pictures that's going on, so they just do it as a program.
Can you write off back taxes? Like taxes from previous years?
So they asking you write off back taxes? So they asking you write off back taxes? No, you cannot. Only for the current year. So like if you lost 2,000 last year and you lost 1,000 this year, you can't write off 3,000. You can only write off the 1,000 that you lost for this year. Yeah. Hey, good try though. And that was
just some profits, and this was actually made this week. Yeah, that was Monday. That was Kevin. Yeah, that was Tuesday. Oh, that was Tuesday.
okay. Yeah. So y'all might hear us talk about the dude named Kevin a lot. All he does literally is trade Tesla and travel in his Tesla.
Yeah. So like, he actually lives in Dallas actually,
And he got so cold at trading that he just decides to take country trips. He just drive in his Tesla and just go around the country while trading. So when he make deals like this, he take that's 10 grand. He'll just take 2 months off and just drive around the country and do what he wants. And like I said, you can trade anywhere. So since he's anywhere, he can still trade it. You know, if he would like, if he see a move that he like in the group, 9 times out of 10 he'll take it, or he'll just wait for the big play like that. And he actually trades full time too. He quit his job 2 years ago. He was an accountant for Amazon, Asian kid, and he quit his job and took basically out his savings. He took all his savings, bought him a Tesla, a house, and invested in stock options. And he hasn't looked back since. And he's probably last time I talked to him, he was up like damn near 80,000 for the year already, and it's only been what 9 months. He made 8 grand. So.
Correct me if I'm wrong, you get taxed once you sell, right? You don't get taxed just when you get money to your account. You get taxed once you sell the stock.
Yeah, once you accumulate that profit, whatever. So let's say you was trading every day. So every time you accumulate that profit, your investment account will grow. Robinhood will take a note of that, and then when it's time to file your taxes, you get that 1099, and then it'll have all your wins, and pretty much you'll get taxed by that time. Like, oh, you made 20,000. So what was the if you make around 9 and 38, so you get taxed 12%, right? So 12%. So then at that point, you owe the government. Since I made enough money at the end of the year, I'm probably gonna have to pay the government. But I got 3 other jobs to offset that.
Right, so you get taxed for the place that you're out of, not for the place that you're in.
Right.
Yes,
right.
correct.
Yeah. So I could be like, for example, in Apple for 3 years, and I'm not getting taxed in Apple until I finally decide to sell it.
Right.
You know, I can make $100,000, and they still not gonna tax me that much. They only gonna tax me, I want to say, over 20% because I held it for over a year and a day.
And it's not short term at that point.
Yeah. So long-term investments, you hardly get taxed at all for them. But whenever anybody trading, we always gonna tell y'all, make sure y'all just keep a little money to the side, you know what I'm saying, so y'all can pay on the sound.
Hey, not to shed light on this 10 grand, but my boy JB did help 1,000 and 795.
So these other two are here basically just to show y'all that you don't need a lot of money to make money. So whenever you are investing into options, you are controlling 100 shares. Not saying that you own 100 shares, you just control 100 shares. So just a word of advice, whenever you see decimal points, we normally just move those 2 places to the right. So like you'll see that an option contract, it'll look like it costs $1.25, when really it costs $125 because you're controlling 100 shares. You gotta just move that 2 places to the right. So with that being said, this right here, the equity of this one is $1,015, and I made $795. So if you subtract 1,015 from $795, you might get what? $205. So I turned $205 into $795. This one over here, you move it 2 places to the right, you got 1,337, made $1,000. So I basically put up 300 to make 1,000. And both of these were in one day.
So you like day trade?
Yeah, I day trade, and I also be in like long-term positions. Like I said, I'm in Apple till 2022. You know, I'm in Nike till December because
I think that's a good point about Ron T and Ameritrade too. Day traders. We'll talk about that.
So how long will 3 day trades?
so day trade. So I'm a day trader, and I also swing. So the difference between day trading and swing, whenever you day trade, you buying one day and selling in that same day. So I could buy at 8:30 and sell it at 9 o'clock, or I could buy at 8:30 and sell it at 1 o'clock. It's still considered a day trade. Swinging is me buying it on one day and selling it on another day. So that's me buying it Tuesday, selling it Wednesday. Me buying it in March, selling it in December.
Think of a day trade as a one-night stand. You in and out.
Yeah.
Think of a swing trade as you spending the night with. You spending the night with. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If they act right, you might swing them to the next week. You know, if it's looking good, you might take it on to a couple of months. Like swing trade, you got to build a relationship with. You know, know, so that's how I like to break it down, because it's plenty, and it's exactly what it means. If you're doing a day trade, you in and out the same day. You know, I don't want to see, you know, swing, okay, you can spend the night tonight, let's see how you act in the morning, and if you acting good, might take you on to the next day. So that's all I look at, dude. Like that. Yeah.
But just like the little disclaimer with day trades, you can only day trade 3 trading days in a 5-day trading period. So what that looks like is I'll be able to day trade Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I done used up all 3 of my day trades. I won't be able to day trade again till that next Monday. After that next Monday, I'll get one of them back, and then that Tuesday, I'll get my second one back, and Wednesday, I'll get my third. Or if I just decide to use up all my day trades on a Wednesday, I use 3 day trades on Wednesday. I won't be able to day trade again until that next Wednesday. You know, just a rule of thumb, if you day trade on Monday, you won't be able to use another one until that next Monday. But if you use all 3 on Monday, you won't be able to use any of them until that next Monday. But that's also why I like TD Ameritrade, because you're able to set up a cash account. That's what they call it. And whenever you have a cash account, you're basically playing with unsettled funds. And you're able to day trade as many times as you want, as long as you have the money. And when I say you're trading with unsettled funds, how that kind of looks is, let's say I have $1,000 in my account. If I use 200 of that and I put it into Google, it don't matter if I make $700 off of that trade right from there. I only have $800 to trade with for the rest of the day. Like that money that I use and the profits that I made off of that, I won't be able to use it until that next day. You know, which is really not a problem for me. It kind of helps me with my risk management. It lets me know, hey, bro, you made too many trades anyways today. Like, chill out a little bit. You know?
And then the only way you can get unlimited day trades on Robinhood is if you have over $25,000 in your account. And the only reason why they limit y'all to 3 day trades is, let's just say Terry never heard of trading in his life, but he was wealthy, he was rich. He could just go on there and blow all his money, just day trade all day. And they want to keep, you know what I'm saying, people from doing that. So that's why they ask you all that information. Whenever you filling out Robinhood, they ask you where you work, how much experience you have, and then, you know, that's when you can then enable options on Robinhood or just simply buy shares. But that's why you only get 3 day trades per day, so per 5-day trading period. So you just won't, or unexperienced traders just won't go into the stock market and blow all their money. So, and that's one of the reasons why I like it, just for risk management. You know, it makes my moves. It makes me think a little bit more, because if I know I only got 3 for 5 days, I need to use those 3 wisely. So that's why I like Robinhood. You know, it helps me in that way. But he says what he wants about it, but I like it.
I'm gonna keep talking about it. But to show y'all everything, game, you know what I'm saying, always great. You know, I have to. This is the biggest loss I've ever took. Was $876. Also lost $485, but like now, like my goal is to make $400 to $1,000 per day. So if 400 is my minimum, that's also my maximum that I'm willing to lose. If I lost 400, I'd be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just sit out for the rest of the day. Hey, Tony, you take care of the speaker of the group. And he would start calling fire plays until, you know, I get my mind back right. And then if I hop into another play, I have to be 100% certain about it. But even then, I can still lose. And if I lose, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's why I should have sat out in the first place.
And my biggest L was probably like a couple thousand, because the guy that I was sitting right here with me, me and him was probably like one of the riskiest people that y'all know if y'all join the community. Like, we put up big money for contracts. Like, I always tell people, like, if you get in the community, you'll see Jay Lee. If he has $50, he happy. I don't trade to make $50. I want to make $200-300 every time. Like, I want to hit big, and it comes with L's. You know, I'm willing. Like I was telling people in the group, do not follow me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm willing to lose $1,000 just to make $2,000 or $3,000. Don't wait for me. You know, if you feel happy with your $100 or your $50, take it out, pull your profits. Because if you take my trade and ask me when to get out, I'm gonna tell you I'm holding. Like, I will be down $500 until you dead ass. I'm holding. I don't care. You know, I believe in my technical analysis, and I believe that it's gonna go up. And that's how I trade. Jay Lee, he don't do that. If he get down $50, He like, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I want to take my $50 loss. I'll look for another entry to win that back in something. Me, I'm gonna sit in it. I'm gonna try to build that relationship until we get right. So, and sometimes I take L's, you know, but when I do win, it's big wins. When I do lose, you know, I try to cut my losses, keep my losses small, but sometimes I get it. It's just, you know.
Great example of that is that Tesla effect. Me, him, and another one of our homies named Willie, we were all in that same trade. I put up 800. My homie Willie put up 1,200, and he put up 1,700. As soon as I got down 300, I was like, okay, yeah, I don't even want to look at this no more. I'm closing out of it. I think my homie Willie, he was down 800, and he was down 1,200. So I was clowning him. I was like, bro, ain't no way in hell I'll be down $1,200 in anything. Like, you basically let your money go to waste. But then that next day, he was clowning me because the end result is I lost 300. My homie Willie, he made 8,000, and he made 20,000.
So after that day, I was like, I trust my analysis. I trust and believe that what I do is right. So with that being said, you know, I like to hold my contracts. You know, I like to try to maximize them. So you know, and that was a life changing one for me. You know, not too many people can say they made 20,000 in one day. That's it. So it's like, how can I not know what got me here? True.
So with all that being said, do y'all have any questions?
So it's pretty straightforward.
So I got here, like, do you guys only invest in like blue chip stocks?
No. We invest in like, it's pretty much we use certain websites to.
Anybody on the Zoom call got any
so like certain
questions?
websites to like today.
Yeah, it's hard to hear what the people in the back are saying.
Okay.
And I see the top movers. Like, okay, who's popping today? I go look, like, okay, who's popping today? And add it to my watch list. Clearly, somebody knows something about your company. And I do a little research. I ask Jamie about it on his analysis, and if it fit well, we add it to our watch list, and then we let our community know that, hey, put eyes on this. You know what I'm saying? It could be hot. It could be, you know what I'm saying? You can make some money out of this. So we just pretty much the blue chip stocks. We like to play with those every day.
So basically, they asked, do we only invest into blue chip stocks?
Okay, so back to what we were saying, like we don't invest only in blue chip stocks. Those are just the ones that we look at consistently every day. Because in order to do what we do, we have to know how things move. We have to know how much money that Apple can move in a day, Facebook in a day, Microsoft, and whatever we're looking at. So with that being said, we know that, okay, how far to hit our price looking at, because we know, okay, Facebook can only move this in any given day, so we're not going to get a strike price or a price target that's $500 out in 1 week. So we pretty much use the blue chip stocks to look at consistently every day. Like I mentioned earlier, if we have, if anything come across our eyes or we go look at the top movers, we then add those smaller stocks to our watch list. And I know JB is like the king of that. He always got some new stock I never heard of, that I'm pretty sure y'all never heard of, because he just does, like I said, I mentioned earlier, he's the fundamental guy. He knows all the research about this stuff. So I'll come to him and ask, hey, did you look at, you know, say some views on this, or what you think about this? And he can tell me how you can buy shares in and start trading.
Just wanted to show y'all it ain't no cap in my rap.
But did y'all have
Here go that Apple I was talking about. Man. But as far as today, I ended up making $11 money in 2 hours. My profit and loss for today. And about eight of these trades I made today. Only 2 of them I held from yesterday to today.
But yeah, that just goes to show y'all, he made $1,100 today. I can pretty much ask anybody randomly walking on the street, did you make $1,100 today? Legit.
They might say,
yeah, if you did, you probably 1 out of 10 outside of him. But I didn't make that today. Honestly, I'm still in trade. But yeah, like I said, y'all got any more questions?
any more questions?